Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West, Supportive Oracle Cards, You Are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Okay. We're all good. We're all cool. We're all happy. So we say. That's an okay, let's see how that goes. I was going to say that's interesting, but I'm like, Gemini is really good at having your foot in two boats at the same time and still getting those two boats to go the same direction. I'm like, y'all are talented. And, you know you are. You can do things that other people can't. I feel like the biggest challenge, I've probably said this a lot, from Gemini is for other people to understand Gemini. I think sometimes without realizing it, you might talk on another level, and they think you just don't know what you're talking about, when in truth you know exactly what you're talking about. They just can't connect it all the way you're saying it. I've noticed that as a challenge for Gemini, because like other air signs like Libra and Aquarius usually can stay on point with Gemini, but certain other signs, they'll just kind of look at you like, what are you talking about? I don't know why we're saying that right now, but just in case, because there's a lot of mental activity with Gemini. You're very, very smart, and it's just about other people understanding it. Sometimes it's hard. You know what I mean? If you're speaking one language and they're speaking another language, there can be barriers. Whew. Okay, going into this situation, I'm almost feeling like what I just talked about is literally what we're getting into. Although it's good. I'm feeling good energy here for you. So, you got acceptance with the Seven of Coins and the Page of Cups. And I'm going to show you the matching card in the environment messages, because like I'm seeing those little swirls here of air, and I'm just kind of like somebody, like it's like they're not ending up in their hand. It's just like right outside their reach. It's that, I know it's leading down to that feather, but it's almost like they can't quite grasp what you're saying. It's kind of giving them a minute to like, I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. I don't understand why you're saying this and that are connected. And you're like, all right, hold on. The acceptance on your side is like you're realizing, wait a minute. Either there's pieces here that they don't understand. Like it's almost like you're explaining something and you're like using words that they don't understand, that this word means this is connected to that. Like they're not getting it. Or it's almost like sometimes when people are cooking, they'll talk about a roux. I think a roux is like a, isn't that like a flour sauce or something, like a butter? I don't know. But if people are talking about cooking and they're saying a roux, and you don't know exactly what that means because maybe you're not that big into cooking, you're just kind of like a roux. And they just keep going, and you're like, you missed it. And if you try to make that recipe yourself, like it doesn't come out right. And you're like, I don't understand. I did everything they said, not understanding that roux was a specific thing. It is kind of like you have to kind of like pull back and be like, all right, what I'm saying here, they're not catching it, and they're telling me they're not catching it. I feel like they're telling you that they don't understand. How they're telling you they don't understand maybe a little insulting. It could be, because sometimes just people don't treat you nice, and they might say things to you that aren't nice, which it boils down to them not understanding what you're saying. Not that there's nothing wrong with you, just they don't understand what you're saying. So you're figuring it out. One way or another, you're figuring it out. You're accepting, like, all right, they're not getting it. And they might be getting upset about it and saying mean things to you to express that they don't get it. Not acceptable, but still, you understand that that's the problem. You get that that's the problem. Seven of Pentacles coming in with the Page of Cups. This is labored because you have to pull it back. And it's not about figuring out what to say. It's about keeping it in a energy to where you're pulling it down and you're putting it in a certain context and you're talking about it in a certain way and you're dragging out explanations. To you, I feel like you're dragging out explanations. To whoever you're dealing with, it may not seem that way. But you got to kind of like slow it down It's kind of like if you're going for a walk with a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old, you can't walk your adult pace. You got to go their pace, or else that's not gonna be fun. That's not okay. Don't do that. Although somebody might argue, yeah, but they run anyway. But like, if they want to walk, if you have a 4-year-old that wants to walk, you got to walk their pace. You got to walk their pace. And it has nothing to do with this person's intelligence, just the way you're saying it, it's not making it. So you're getting it, and you're like, I got to pull it down, I got to walk their pace. Okay, I'll do that. And I almost feel like part of me is kind of like all right, let's see if they're nicer to me if I do it this way. Because part of this also is like, I'm worried about, and this is a general read, so I'm sure it won't happen this way for everybody, but I feel like I don't feel as respected as I should be, because I feel like when this person doesn't understand, they're not nice about it. And they might be accusing. Like, I feel like somebody calling me or telling me that they don't think I'm intelligent in one form or another. And it's uncalled for. It is uncalled for, but it's happening. And you have to decide how to handle that. I get that. You pull it back. You start explaining in terms they can understand. Okay. I also feel like when you start explaining in terms they can understand, whatever that may be, I'm getting the truth comes out about how smart you really are. Health comes in, and justice comes in the environment. Like, you might not be saying, like, you calling me these names was completely out of line. I feel like they should know that anyway. But when you start really talking about a situation and really putting in the meat and potatoes of it, that they don't, like, you're putting it in terms they can get, they start to realize you really do know what you're talking about. You really do have some really good ideas that are going to be extremely helpful. And I feel like they're kind of like, they might be kind of choking it back, like, uh-oh. I kind of made it myself. Like they might have said, or they might have called you stupid. I hate that word, but they might have said that, but then they're realizing, it's not the Gemini who was stupid. No, not at all. It was maybe the person who said the word that was actually the word. If you want to use that word. I hate that word. I'm sorry. The star card. The star card is on your side. You're not holding this. I don't feel you're holding this. Kind of like you know that they're catching on. Like you know that they realize you're smart. And you know what you're talking about. And I'm feeling a very kind of like, yeah, it's a little, yeah, now you know. Yeah, I'm not even rubbing it in really. I'm just kind of, I feel like I'm kind of smirking a little bit. Like, yeah, you know I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm talking about. You know you need me. So, okay. More possibilities are coming in. You got hope and you got the Two of Pentacles. You're fully well aware that, like, we're going to have this problem again if I don't keep my eye on it. So I just got to keep my eye on it. I have to like make sure, like, I pay attention to this person. And if I start talking in a way that they don't understand, I need to catch on to the cues. I need to see. And I also realize that you're looking at this person, like, some days they seem more on point than others. Some days you can just talk and they just seem they're okay. Other days they just kind of look at you and their eyes kind of like roll like bubbles in their head. Like, I don't know. And you're like, okay, some days good, some days not so good. I need to pay attention and be on point and be like, okay, they're not getting it today. I say it a different way today. Did that work? Let me see. You have a lot of things. You have a lot of different ways you can handle things. You have more than enough ways to figure it out. Oh, okay. I like this. In the environment, I didn't notice this at first. It kind of makes me happy. Integrity with heart and mind balance in the environment. This person, they don't mean to be difficult. Okay, that in itself, let's just deal with that in itself. They don't mean to be. No, you can take that where you want to take that. When they realize they've been pushing something too far, or they've said something they should not have said, I do feel like they try to make up for it. I feel like there might be a version of an apology. When I say version, you're going to realize they're trying to make something up to you. Some people do better with apologies by showing they're sorry rather than saying they're sorry. And you want the authenticity. Like, the words are one thing, but the words mean nothing if there's nothing behind them. And I feel like you completely get that. You want the authenticity, and they're showing you the authenticity. So they're kind of apologizing in their own way. For example, for me, I'd rather somebody show me that they really are sorry they said something by just, like, making up for it rather than just giving me some type of words. Like, words don't usually work for me. Like, somebody can say they're sorry, but unless I see the proof, like, what good is it? That's kind of how I am, just to be fair. And they're doing that. They're showing you. So you might get a verbal apology, or you just might see the difference. Whatever makes better sense to you, I feel like you're seeing it. You understand it. This is not going to be the last time something goes wrong. Like, we're not living in a fairy tale land where now that we figured it out, everything is cool. I don't think so. But I'm gonna give you this type of response about how they're gonna deal with you going forward. The Five of Cups and the Temperance, back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes they're gonna say stuff and they're gonna know they shouldn't have, and they're gonna try to make up for it. I feel like it's gonna be a repetitive thing where they just kind of screw up. But it's also gonna go into the Temperance card where they're trying to be more patient. They're trying to understand. They realize you're trying to be helpful and that you do have the answers. Just once in a while, they might have to actually say to you, the way you're explaining this is not making sense to me. I need you to explain it a different way because I don't get it. You're saying rue. What is a rue? Explain what a rue is to me. I've not used that word before. Like, are we ruining the day? Like, I don't understand. This is a cooking term? What do you mean? Is it a flour? Is it butter? Is it a flour butter sauce? Is it a... It's funny when I'm flat out saying it, I'm like trying to remember it. Like, it's something to do with flour and butter, doesn't it? Isn't that a rue? Anyway, moving on. Passion is coming in with Kathumi and peace. The passion with the peace is what really caught me before, and I was like, that's an interesting combination. I do feel like you're getting along with this person better. You're seeing it more. You're understanding their body language. Before there's a problem, you're seeing it coming. Kathumi is like, I feel like this is somebody who's actually going to look out for you going forward. Ironically, they're difficult for you to deal with here and there, now and then. But it's almost like that sibling relationship, kind of like, when you treat your siblings like crap as they're growing up, but then when somebody else tries to treat them like crap, you get upset and you're like, don't you treat my sibling like crap. Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things. I feel like in the passion and the peace, and like all that coming together is that's kind of how I'm feeling about that. Like, they might drive you nuts, but they don't want other people driving you nuts. It's kind of like that weird sibling thing. You see it, you get it. I feel like most of this situation, you're pretty much seeing it, and you're just kind of rolling with it. It's just understanding, like, what is this person really feeling and thinking as they keep going? Is this going to be better, worse? It's going to keep kind of going. You got the Knight of Cups with the King of Pentacles. Yeah. The more you get used to this person, the more you deal with them, I feel like the more you like them, even though they're a pain in your butt. Because even when they're a pain in your butt and they say things to you they really shouldn't say, deep down you know they care about you. Does it make it acceptable how they treat you? I don't know if I'd go that far. But when you see what's under it, how the underlying energy is, and you know that they do actually care about you in their own way, it does make a difference. It's better than somebody who really doesn't like you and has no good intention towards you, treating you badly. It's better than that, at least. And for some reason you have to deal with this person, so... it's the world. Nothing works out perfectly here. You know what I mean? It's What else can I say to that? The threshold with the Queen of Wands. I really get this feeling like this person does gravitate towards you more as time goes on. They get more active and more, like, they seem to want to pull you into things more. But they're still a pain in the butt. And they do get aggravated by you. So, but they feel comfortable with your energy. Like, they see you the same way. Like, I feel like they look at you and they think you're a little obnoxious. But they also see, at the core, a very good person. So it's almost like they drive you nuts, you drive them nuts. Alright. I mean, I don't think that would shock you. I don't think you're doing anything to purposely drive them nuts. It's just you realize the way you two add up. It's just that thing going on. I think you're fine. I think you're fine. I don't think it offends you at this point in the game down here. I don't think it offends you. I don't know about back here. That's subjective. But down here, if you get this far down, and this really hits, it's not offending you. It's just kind of like it is what it is type thing. There's a lot of give and take with this relationship. There always will be. There always will be. Things seem to go very quickly too, and it's like when things are really going fast is when you really need to you really need each other, so that you can help them understand what's going on and you can have that support behind you. It's like when it's really busy and really fast, it's the best and worst of times at the same time. That's when you most need each other, and that's when you're most on each other's nerves. The goddess with happiness on your side is like, even though it can be very stressful, you have a lot more confidence with it, and you also feel when this person's around, you feel confident that things will work out. So it's very like half to one, six to dozen to the other. When this person's around, they are difficult. I just don't think it ever is not going to be difficult. But I'm also getting like you have a lot of confidence that at least the situation will work out in the end. So you'd rather have like more of that guarantee that things will, as much of a guarantee as you can, that things will work out with some discomfort rather than feel like everything is great and then end up flat on your face. So there's that. I think this is a good connection. It's something that can be developed better as time goes on. But knowing that this person actually does care about you, even though they drive you nuts, that makes a difference. That's what I'm getting. I feel like that's the whole thing about this reading. Because I feel like there's going to be times where you're like, you do care about this person, but you're like, does it even matter? Is this all just one-sided? I just feel like there's different ways of living life, and it just doesn't match up, but definitely you both care about each other. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.